12 team right now against one of the hottest teams in the competition, the Gold Coast Blaze. They've thrown some defensive pressure at them, but the Sydney Kings, after a shaky start, have gotten into the rhythm of the game and hold a 2-point lead as we embark on the second quarter. Alternating possessions, the Gold Coast Blaze have the first crack. Gibson, bounce pass to Will Hudson. He absorbs the hit, finishes the playoff, goes to the line for a three-point play. Three the old-fashioned way.
And good execution by the Gold Coast Blaze. And a terrific pass there you saw by Adam Gibson threading the needle. And a gentle foul on Graham Dan.
You get the feeling that Joey was celebrating like, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's how easy it is.
It is, and you get some execution. Get just a little bit of ball movement and movement away from the ball, and those sort of opportunities will open up, no doubt. Sydney Kings, statistically the worst defensive team in the competition.
Graham Dan mixing it up with Adam Gibson. And they get the basketball right into the big fella. And now it's the Kings with a 1-point lead. Gibson waits for his screen. Kings switching everything. De Leon pulls up. He'll come up short. Ratch with the rebound. Kicks it ahead to Dan. Skip to Magin. Enter into Kazoo. Spin to the baseline. Bucket.
That was a great catch by Julian Kazoo. It was a wild pass by Ben Magin, but terrific hands by Julian Kazoo. And the footwork down low made a pretty tough play look very easy. And there's, you see the Achilles heel of the Sydney Kings defensively. Just poor. They're picking them off now. The first couple of plays by the Gold Coast Blaze exposing.
Graham Dan has just thrown some sweet dishes on the other end, handling the pressure against the Gold Coast Blaze with his size. Because usually it's a 3 or a 4-man picking him up. He's able to go the length of the court and just throw a dart for a layup to Ratch. He's fouled. He goes to the line. Kings on top by 1. 8.5 to go here in the second. We'll be back.
Things to do before summer ends. Go to the beach. Go for a surf. Build a sand. I have no idea what that is. Go to Hungry Jack's. Play cricket. Watch cricket. Listen to crickets. Take your dog to the park. Go to an outdoor concert. Go to Hungry Jack's. Climb a tree. Fall in love. Ride a horse to Hungry Jack's. Come into Hungry Jack's for a summer value meal and get a Whopper Junior, small fries and small frozen Coke for just $3.95. Available all day, every day. Hungry Jack's makes it better.
Right now, we're leaving Will naked down there. Will has 2 fouls down there. We're leaving him naked, okay? So get back down there. We're in two. We're in two. On first pass, we're in the Texas. All right, first pass, we're in the Texas. So slide to your angles, all right? Down here, thumbs next time. Thumbs. Go.
Not sure if he caught the start of that timeout, but Joey Wright just concerned about some of the body language of his players, and it seemed in particular he's drawing the attention to Adam Gibson. And also you heard he's concerned about Will Hudson leaving him by himself down low, and that is of course trying to handle the big fella Julian Kazoo. And Julian Kazoo is a handful for anyone in the competition on a one-on-one basis. In fact, 9 times out of 10, he's going to win most battles if you just play him straight up one-on-one. So Joey Wright there just making some adjustments to ensure that there's a little bit of help on the big fella.
I think where it happened, you know, teams that have been successful against Sydney have sent 1 and 2 and 3 people at them at a time. But it's hard to do that when you have extended pressure, and if Sydney Kings can handle the pressure, they can get it into Kazoo.
And there's really no reason to be afraid of it, because the Sydney Kings are the worst three-point field goal shooting and perimeter field goal shooting team in the competition, so you shouldn't be so concerned. If you're going to take the odds, you're better off having them take perimeter shots statistically than you are letting Kazoo, Bose, DeRay Grant around the basket.
See, I like this call. Gish calls a foul because he knocked him off balance. That was more contact on the one that he caught but he was able to let him play the advantage, and he caught it, made a move, and scored. But a guy shouldn't be disadvantaged by losing his balance when he's knocked off balance.
Little reaching foul by Adam Gibson. Good point, Steve. I think when you see it, it doesn't look like much, but if he's not knocked off balance slightly, he catches it, he powers it up, it's an easy two. So good officiating.
Very good officiating. I think Brad Gee is still explaining that one. And if you're a team that relies on defensive pressure and you're a team that relies on playing physical, you got to be able to make the adjustments to how the game's being called as well. Because right now the air's been taken out of the pressure of the Blaze for whatever reason. And a lot of it has been the way the Sydney Kings have defended, really slowed down the Blaze as Adam Gibson's pull-up from 17 feet is good, makes it a 2-point game.
You just get that sense that if the Gold Coast Blaze are prepared to just work that ball around, those shots are going to be on there all night.
Madgen off the mark, even though he had a good look, but it was early. Kadee, good defense by Luke Martin. He got a piece of that. Madgen tries to turn the corner, just squirts out of bounds. Where was he going?
I'm not sure. He had Graham Dan on the left, but Graham Dan, he's not going to pull up and pop from the perimeter. So driving into the traffic there, probably better advised just to bring that one out and get into a half-court set.
Petrie.
Again,
that screen and roll is just giving the Sydney Kings the blues tonight.
Steve, if you're going to, if the guy who's guarding the screener is going to come out and show on the ball handler, unless you have massive pressure on the ball, it's always going to be easy to distribute that ball and find the open man. They need more pressure on the ball as the guy's coming off those screens.
Ratch comes up short. Petrie turns the jumper down. Probably a good decision. It was early in the offense. They take couple more passes. Good box out by Madgen. Cooper. He walks. Really nowhere to go.
He's going into the forest.
You know, and those, when you're undersized like that, either you are a tremendous finisher or you have the ability to stay on balance and keep your dribble alive and just don't go into there for turnovers. You see the Sydney Kings out rebounding the Blaze. Those are the assists, and those are the turnovers. Kings with 6. Jason Kadee with a 3-point shot. Grant goes above all the trees as he normally does. Dan to Grant to Cooper. This is the matchup the Sydney Kings like. See, I want to have a look at these travels because they have called 2 real quick ones on Bose as he goes to make his move. They're saying that he's switching his pivot foot.
Both of them look...
They look good.
They look good. If anything, even if they were, I've seen a whole lot worse not called.
Yeah, I mean, if you break down just about every move, we'll be seeing a lot of travels worldwide. De Leon just blows by Cooper, but he didn't see Teray Grant, one of the best in the business. They try to get it back to him, but Garlip is there. Turnover, backed up with another turnover. Stephen Hoare on a nice dish to Tease. Madgen to Cooper. He lays it up and he's fouled.
Wow, Steve. Some helter-skelter, up and down, end-to-end action. Wasn't all that pretty, but it's ended up going the way of the Sydney Kings. They're up to 8 turnovers already in the game.
He did travel.
He did travel. That was a clear one.
It was a blatant travel.
It was not even close.
What were we saying? It looked good? It looked good for who? the travel police. It looked good on a video that you would put to say, this is the easiest call you can make all night.
That is correct. That's a travel in any league in the world.
I got to think they called his first travel so quickly. I got to think it looked like that one.
Maybe.
And these are the people in foul trouble. Well, none of the Sydney Kings are. But Will Hudson and Mark Worthington.
The big ones.
Two bigs. It's not like the Gold Coast have a plethora of bigs. De Leon with a bomb. Kept alive and goes back to him. Stephen Hoare. Sneaky Stephen Hoare keeps it alive.
Back to 2-3 zone, Steve. Sydney Kings. That's Ollie Post, very good on the glass as well. There's a foot violation. That's going to be a shot clock reset.
Good day. It was all good.
Timeout on the floor. In charge to the Sydney Kings. They'll have a couple of words. Just under 4.5 to go until halftime. Kings up by 2, 30-28. This game's had a few momentum swings.
It has, Steve, and there's some opportunities. Real good opportunities for the Sydney Kings. A couple of those transition baskets we saw where they tried to push the issue. If it weren't for a couple of bad decisions and those sloppy turnovers, they really should have a little bit more of a buffer.
Madge, that's you on the weak side. On the ball slap, Madge is coming. Coops left. Jules, that's you just in the middle. Any of these targets, Tolly, you're just filling, then we're in swing from there. We can throw back. Tolly's coming. Stay in 23 here for a little while. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Be active, though, 23.
Well, the Sydney Kings and the Gold Coast Blaze. Few interesting statistics. We look at the top scorers on the bottom of your screen. Right there, it's Julian Kazoo with 10, the only man in double figures. But the Sydney Kings shoot more free throws, get teams to commit more fouls than anybody in the competition.
And they're doing a good job on the glass tonight, Steve. They're out. Oh, that's another turnover.
Who was thinking alley-oop?
He was.
I mean, Grant was thinking alley-oop.
But that was just a bullet at someone going at someone that close. It's always going to be hard to handle by Julian Kazoo. 9 turnovers now for the Sydney Kings. But Kings have done a great job on the glass. They lead at 17-12.
Garlick. Adam Gibson did a great job of getting his hand on that. Slow it down. De Leon with a runner. He loses it. This goes right to Cooper. It's going to be a tough shot.
They've looked a whole lot better in their zone, the Sydney Kings. Oh, my goodness. Then they have their man-to-man. If they could just figure out a way not to give the ball straight back to the Gold Coast Blaze.
That's a nice way of putting it.
They would be a lot better off.
Garland looking for a teammate. Dribble penetration and react. De Leon with the hesitation gets it to Tease. He's long. Magin. Good D by Adam Gibson.
Great body control by Ben Magin. A little spin going up. Adam Gibson really did the best he could under the circumstances, but Ben Magin was up to the task.
Gibson just off the mark. Bose pulls down a strong board. Cooper throws it to Kazoo. He's grabbed by Stephen Hoare. Boy, the Kings really do that well. And the field goals 10 more shot attempts by the Blaze, and the Kings shooting it at a 50% clip.
Well, they've got more shot attempts because they've had a lot more opportunities with all the turnovers the Sydney Kings have had, and that is just experience personified by Stephen Hoare. He knew he was done and dusted if Julian Kazoo had caught that, so just gets a mitt on him to cause the foul and makes him earn it from the free throw line because he was dead and buried if he had caught that.
He never saw the ball. He just was playing off the reaction of Julian Kazoo. Kazoo cashes in on both free throws. Kings up by 6 as the Blaze are not blazing away from the field at 34%. Stephen Hoare, Gibson. Petrie, touch pass back out to Adam Gibson. That rims out. Jeray Grant with another strong board. Kazoo, his pull-up jump shot is good. Now he's starting to get the feel. Matching it up with his back to the basket moves, and now he's got the medium jumper going.
14 points for Julian Kazoo, and Jeray Grant already has 9 rebounds.
Wow. Gibson. De Leon puts it on the floor. His floater. That's good. That stops an 8-0 run by the Sydney Kings. On that. Idris too hard to guard De Leon. Kazoo. Cooper keeps it alive. Looked like a volleyball spike. Got a running start on that. Bose goes hard to the baseline. He gets himself to the foul line. And he looks like a wrecking ball when he's going to the hoop.
Does he ever? The Gold Coast players have got their problems on the boards, and it's only further enhanced when the little fella Luke Cooper can go in there and slap it out and give his team another crack at it. Good work by the Cooper there.
Sure is. On the glass, the Sydney Kings just giving him a towel.
21-12.
And that's just mental. You know, when the smallest player on the court gets a running start, no one gets a body on him. And he keeps the ball alive for the Sydney Kings, who have the height advantage.
In virtually every statistical category, the Sydney Kings are on top. It's just those turnovers. If it weren't for them, they'd have a bigger margin. You might be wondering what's going on here with the Sydney Roosters cheerleaders. The Sydney Kings and the Roosters have a partnership, and tonight they're
having a little dance-off right here. And the partnership is their memberships get to swing to the code. So
each game each year that they exchange it. So one game during the season, the Sydney Kings members are going to have the opportunity to go see the Roosters play, and the Sydney Kings cheerleaders will be doing their thing at the Roosters game. So good to see the two clubs getting together and sharing the opportunities for the fans to get out there and experience different sports.
I always thought that, you know, when it came to Australia, went to Melbourne and people were talking about the AFL, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's, you know, that's good. Your AFL team is, you know, St. Kilda or whatever it may be, you know, but who do you follow in basketball? And they're like, well, what, you know, because in America you have your football, your basketball, and your baseball. You're a fan of 3 different teams. No sweat.
Well, it's like the New England Patriots. They came up short in the Super Bowl, and the Celtics in their game yesterday honoured the New England Patriots by, on the tip, Kevin Garnett was like to hike the ball back to between his legs, like he was hiking it back to Rondo, who then hiked it to himself. It's just a symbolic gesture to the good work of the New England Patriots, although they never won the Super Bowl.
I hope Idris De Leon didn't hear what I said about maybe give him the jumper. He just effortlessly flies by people, but he is shooting the lights out outside the three-point line. As Grant, his medium-range jumper is good. There is no hesitation in Patrice De Leon outside the three-point line.
Well, there he goes
There's
again.
another one. Bang. Okay, has to rewrite the scouting report.
To me, he's one of those guys, too, when he hits his first couple, he's not going to pull back. And when he gets his eye in, it becomes even tougher because he's going to keep taking. He's never going to hesitate.
I like that move by Luke Martin. Kind of shot it quick. You know, to avoid the contact with good touch. Giving the Kings that 6-point lead back. Kings have been impressive here, shooting it at 53.8%. Gibson will make sure the Blaze have the last shot of the half. Ratch gets a piece of it.
2 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so sweet. Yeah, it was under. It was under. That's it. We're under. We're right to go. What?
The shot clock was under the game clock. That's what Brad Guish was trying to explain. It wasn't a factor. Timeout by the Sydney Kings.
Wow.
Ian Rebillard does not want the Gold Coast Blaze to go in at halftime with any kind of a high.
It's an interesting call by Moose Rebillard because normally you don't want to give the opposition a chance to set up a play and you're just relying on your defense. But now this gives Joey Wright to draw something up.
4-man is coming up screening this. Bottom guy, you got to get deep corner. I got to get deep corner here. Look at him over the top or him on the slip. So you have a Patrice over there, Horry, or Peach on the slip. All right, let's go, fellas. Let's go.
We saw that last play from the Sydney Kings that had a lot of success with their zone defense, but in that last play, we saw them went to the man-to-man. And it'll be interesting to see what Moose Rebillard comes up with here. Whether he goes back to the zone or the man-to-man with Patrice on fire like he is.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times when I was in college, we would cover if they're in a man or if they're in a zone, like a couple of different options. I often see teams get caught off guard out of a timeout.
Well, they're in a man, the Sydney Kings.
They got plenty of time to get a good shot off. Or gets it to Petrie, and he gets the bucket.
See, that's